Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Play with Possibilities. Again, we are doing Play with Possibilities after a long time. The last time we did it, it was December 2024, and since January 2025, we haven't done it. And as I've slowly started getting back to all the lives, and I was looking at all of the lives which we used to do till last year, and I thought, चलो ये शुरुआत कर लेते हैं फिर से. So, a very warm welcome to all of you who are watching me live, for all of you who are watching me for the first time. Gratitude from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching. And what is the purpose of Play with Possibilities? So, Play with Possibilities is meant to help you actually play with the possibilities. So, the whole purpose and the whole reason why we call it Play with Possibilities is because with access consciousness, we literally play with the possibilities. So, this actually, the title captures all the essence of what the tools of access consciousness have to offer. Um, Personally, I feel access consciousness tools help us, give us a chance to live life fully, joyfully, expansively, and most important, beyond the limits of what we thought was possible. So, many people go in that feeling stuck. I read so many people who talk about their feeling stuck, and they are so stuck that they also believe that nothing can help them get unstuck. That is the level of stuckness, where you believe that whatever people are saying that, try doing these tools, they say that, no, I don't think that is going to work. So they themselves have come to a conclusion that nothing is going to help them get unstuck. I'll tell you one thing, when I found the tools of access consciousness, I was terribly really stuck, but I believed that there is something out there which can help me get unstuck. And thanks to all the classes I did and mentors I met, that it really helped me to get unstuck. And because of using the tools, anytime I get stuck in life, I keep using them. So many people who go through life feeling stuck, feeling weighed down, especially by expectations, judgments, fear of failure, or most of us also are in the belief that everything has to be right. And because we are so stuck in making things right, that we don't go beyond what else is possible. So, access consciousness offers a totally different perspective because it doesn't tell you that you're going to fix yourself, or it doesn't tell you that someone else is going to fix you. And this entire feeling of that someone is going to fix you, in fact, that is something which weighs you down and it keeps you stuck more in this, because we are always looking for someone to rescue us. But what happens is access consciousness invites you to explore who you really are underneath what we call as the noise of this reality, underneath all the chitter chatter of this reality. And from there, you can create something entirely new. I know a lot of you must be thinking, ये क्या बोल रही है, ये क्या है, ये tools क्या है, ये. But that's what we are coming to. And Play with Possibilities is an invitation to you to explore the tools. So the first, the very basic, the way to define the tools of access consciousness is there are verbal tools, which means you speak using spoken word, written word, heard word, and you create those subconscious changes in your beyond your mind and create a new reality. For example, most of us feel that, okay, you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. And I know I was that day was talking to a friend of mine, and she is an access practitioner too. And I was telling her that most people believe that they are stuck and they will always stay stuck. So I remember once I had shared an access consciousness tool was, what if everything in your life is actually working out for you? That was an access consciousness tool. And below that, I don't know who that person was, but someone had written that no, it doesn't. And I was like, wow, like now that's exactly the kind of reality which people operate from, where they believe that things will not work out for them. And I always say that I meet two kinds of people. One kind of people are the no people. So anything you ask them that, like, um, for example, you ask them, okay, let's do this. You're talking to someone and you say, okay, let's do this. let's plan this and let's do this. And there will be people who will say, no, no, it's not possible. It will not happen. Why things are not possible? And there will be some people who will say, okay, let's see what else is possible. A simple example is take, for instance, someone loses their job. And the first kind of person will say, okay, let me see what can I do so that I can change this. I will definitely get a better job. I'm going to apply and I'm going to see if things work out. These are the people who are looking at, okay, universe, what are you offering and how can I find that? And the second category of people will say, I lost job and now I know I'm not going to get another one. Market is bad. I'm too much experienced. Now, these are the no kind of people. And you will meet these kind of people in all walks of life. Like, like if you are going to, when I travel, I always connect to people and I ask people, okay, what are the hotel options available? What are the travel options available? And now again in that I meet two kinds of people. One kind of people say नहीं नहीं वो hotel option आपको मिलेगा ही नहीं, आपको आपके जो dates आपको चाहिए उसमें वो आएगा ही नहीं. And then there is a second category of person who say, okay, Ashwini, right now we don't have anything as per what your requirements are, but let me see what else is possible. Let me get back with you. So these are the two ways of living in two kinds of realities. The first reality is where you always say you are always in the awe and wonder what beautifully the universe has to offer. You trust the universe, you know things are working out beautifully for you, no matter how difficult life is. And the second category will always stay stuck there and they will have this. So I would say that if you are the first category of person who always wants to live life at your fullest, who wants to explore more, who wants to see the miracle and wonder of life, welcome to Play with Possibilities. You're going to have a lot of fun. The second category, maybe they might not be even watching this video, or if at some point of time I know people who believe that there are no possibilities available, they may even um, switch this video off and say, okay, I'm not interested, I don't know what rubbish she's talking. But the fact you are watching and waiting and um, being an audience or being a spectator, I'm sure that you are the one who likes to have more wonder and more awe and more magic of the life. So there are two kinds of processes of access consciousness. The first is verbal tools, using certain kind of tools by spoken word or by written word. We try to create changes. We create changes. One of the biggest, most powerful tool is the clearing statement of access consciousness. You can, Google more about it. What is the clearing statement? There are some amazing videos by Dr. Dane here and Gary Douglas, the founders of access consciousness. And the clearing statement has been also changing a lot. Till last October, it was different. And then it has even become more fun and more dynamic. And the clearing statement acts like a magical wand. I remember 10 years ago, I was not 10 years ago, this was 15 years ago. Yes, this was 15 years ago. In 2010, I remember I was sitting and talking to a friend, and we all of our friends were going through a typical low time in our life. Something was going wrong with each one of us. And my friend said that, Ash, I wished we all had a magical wand where you just, put that magical wand and everyone's life would just become perfect. And I thought to myself, if magic is real, I'm sure there is a magical wand and someday there is something which I will find. I was going in my head and thinking about that. But access consciousness clearing statement really acts as a magical wand because it helps you release all stuck beliefs, all disempowering beliefs, everything which is not a contribution to you and your life, everything which does not help you create a better life. It helps you release all of that. And you don't even have to go in the house and you don't have to sit and cry over what things happen to you. It just acts at a subconscious level. So the verbal tools there are so many verbal tools, and of course the clearing statement is a great tool. And in access consciousness, we also believe that we have to be in a question and do not come to a conclusion. Don't ask for answers, just ask a question. So these are the verbal tools. And yes, then there are tools which are the body tools. And I would rather say these are processes, these are dynamic processes which help you to go beyond your mind. Because I know a lot of people, especially when people say that, a lot of people who come for Access Bharat, they say, I have been taking therapy for a long time. I have been taking medications for a long time. I've been taking mental health medications for a long time. But things have not improved in spite of continuously being in therapy, talking to my doctors, and I've still not seen the results. I know someone who was for 6 years on depression medications, and She said that she was running in circles, it was going worse. And she took 3 sessions of access bars. And of course, when they take access bar sessions, we don't tell them to stop their medicines or no, it's just, it's a complementary therapy and it works. So with 3 sessions of access bars, she said that her life started changing. Another 3 sessions, after 6 sessions, she was a totally different person. Another 4, 5 sessions, and she said that her doctor tapered her medicines and eventually she was off the medicines. She was on it for a very long time. So that is how the body processes work. They are very dynamic. They create more. They have helped so many people to live a life full of possibilities, to live every moment of their life with joy. So what is this bars? Now, bars is a gentle hands-on process which helps us clear any kind of mental clutter and limiting beliefs. It can bring deep relaxation. It can bring profound sense of feeling light and feeling at ease. But friends, it doesn't stop there. When you come for an access bars class, where you are a participant in an access bars class, you don't just learn to run bars, but what else do you learn? A whole range of practical energetic tools, asking powerful questions, um, opening doors to possibilities. I would say opening doors to possibilities instead of shutting the doors, and clearing any and every kind of subconscious program which is keeping you stuck. Most of the times we are stuck in our life because there are subconscious programs which are running our life. How many of you feel that sometimes life is happening on autopilot, that you have no control? I remember this whole image which I had of life about 15 years ago, that life is happening and I'm just running from one direction to other without any control. Future is already fixed and only someone who can predict the future can tell me that whether things are going to happen or not. And I have no control. Everything is happening because of luck or ill luck and fate and all of that. And it's already too late. I can't choose anything else. That was what I used to feel about life. But with access consciousness, I realized that I always have a choice. No matter how difficult it looks now, I know I always have a choice. Secondly, I also realized that when I make a choice, I open a new doorway to possibility. And if there is a place where I'm feeling stuck, asking the right questions can help me open up new possibilities. So after the access consciousness, the way I started doing even tarot and angel card readings changed, because now I don't, when clients come to me and ask, Ashwini, will I get a job? Please take your tarot cards and tell me, will I get a job? So I say that without even saying the tarot cards, I'm going to tell you that yes, you are going to get a job because you choose to have a job. Let us ask questions to the tarot cards that, okay, what should I do so that I can get a job with ease, which is a contribution to my life, which gives me abundance, which gives me money, which gives me work-life balance, which where I receive support from the universe. Please guide me. So with tarot cards too, I use the consciousness approach more than a prediction approach. So anything which you choose to have in life, you can get it because you already made a choice. Now you have to ask the right questions and keep making choices in such a way that you can create your reality. So it helps you, open doors instead of closing them. Choose based on your awareness instead of on old patterns. So most of us choose, make choices in life based on our old patterns and old beliefs. So first and foremost, many people believe they don't have a choice. Secondly, they believe that if they have a choice, they should make a choice because of limited to options what they have. And if something is not possible, they cannot have it. Also, when people make choices, they make choice which they don't want to, but which they feel are possible, right? So for example, if I want a very typical, if I want my dream job, I will not say that this is my dream job and I'm going to choose that. I say that, okay, right now these are the jobs available. I have to choose among them. But we don't believe that we can create our dream job. Okay. So again, if what I'm talking is aligning to you, if you're understanding it, if you are able to grasp what, if it is connecting to you, I'm sure you are someone who is a yes person who believes in creating. And if you feel that, "Arey, kya chal raha hai?" It's maybe, it's time for you to go back. But again, this particular life is for all those people who really believe that there are things possible. So we make choices. I'm again coming to that. We make choices depending on our old beliefs. But once you start using the tools of access consciousness, you start making choices based on your awareness. What you feel is light for you is true for you. Access bars and the access consciousness tools also help you clear the subconscious programs which are keeping you stuck in the loop of self doubt, in the loop of scarcity, in the loop of struggle. A lot of us are, these are the three things which limit us. Self doubt, we think we are not good enough. Scarcity, we believe that there is not enough for everyone. If one person has gotten a job, you are not going to get because you have competition, right? But in access consciousness, we don't believe in competition. We believe that there is so much available in the universe that there is more than enough for each one of us. And the third thing which people make their reality struggle. What if ease is your reality? I remember I gave a talk once in one of the institutions where I used to go for talks, and that video is on YouTube, and it's a video which most people have really enjoyed watching, and it has changed so many people's lives. And on that, there is a comment which someone has written that, "Do you really know what you're talking about? Struggle is the reality of life." And I was like, wow, now that's interesting because people have already made struggle their reality and they're not willing to choose beyond struggle, right? So people are keeping themselves looping in self doubt, in scarcity, and in struggle. Now, these will not take you anywhere. You will keep running in circles. But what happens when you start using the tools? The tools don't just shift your mindset, they also shift your energy. And that is where true change begins. So, when you start living in this sense of play and possibility, it just helps you in all ways. And one of the biggest questions which I have been asked is, does access consciousness help in manifestation? Because I'm a manifestation coach and I started my journey as a manifestation coach, a manifestation teacher, someone who takes workshops in manifestation. And I know a lot of people ask me that, does access bar help in manifestation? Is access bar same as manifestation? And people have had a lot of questions. So I'm not going to go into technical questions, but I'm going to just make it very simple. So how does access bars help in manifestation? And in this play with possibilities, I typically take the FAQs, or the most frequently asked questions, the most common questions which people have when they ask me, Ashwini, so what exactly do you do? And I think this video could be an indicator to help you understand what exactly we do at Unicorn Insight, or what I do as Ashwini Chube. So let's first take the very first question which I've received, a most common question. How does access bars help in manifestation? So when you start using the tools of manifestation, the tools of access bars, when you start using the tools of access bars, manifestation becomes more easy, which means you're no longer forcing the outcomes or controlling how you want things to be. You're following the energy, making that space for the universe to contribute to have that magic, and trusting that you have the capacity to create that. And that's exactly what it means to play with the possibilities. We live in questions and we receive more than we thought was ever possible. And also, on the way, we become more, we enjoy the journey of who we truly are. So, let me take each question one by one. My first question, which people have asked me, is how does access bars relate to manifestation? How does it help manifestation? So, access bars help you clear a lot of your subconscious beliefs, which are limiting beliefs. Okay. Now, very simple question. Many people say that manifestation, does it work or it doesn't work? And I have met people who said that ये secret book मैंने भी पढ़ा लेकिन law of attraction did not work for me. Manifestation did not work for me. I did everything written in that book, but it did not work for me. Now, why has it happened? And the people will say, I don't believe in law of attraction. But the problem is not in the law of attraction. The problem is in you or I would rather say your limiting beliefs, which did not let you manifest that because you believe you don't deserve it. Most of us believe that we don't deserve our manifestations. I take my own example of life and I see that, I always say out of 100 things, I usually manifest 98 things with a lot of ease. And there are two things I don't manifest with ease. And the only reason I have not manifested those two things with ease because there was a belief in me somewhere that I don't deserve it. And it's not practical for me to, deserve that. So these are but these beliefs I am not even aware of because consciously I don't even know that limiting beliefs exist with me. Consciously I might be saying नहीं ऐसे तो नहीं है मुझे तो वो चीज चाहिए and I believe it is possible for me. But subconsciously there are some very deep set subconscious beliefs. Now with bars, what happens is that there are points on our head. There are 32 points on our head, okay, which when lightly and gently touched, they help us release something called as some energy, electromagnetic charge. It could be relating to various aspects of life. Now, there are 32 points and 32 things. There is a point for joy and sadness. There is a point for money. There is a point for creativity. There is a point for control. There is a point for joy and sadness. There is a point for hopes and dreams. So there are so many 32 points, and each point stores all our limiting beliefs relating to that. For example, if you are having problems with money, you might be having limiting beliefs about money, which you are not even aware of at a conscious level. But subconsciously, those beliefs may be filled with you. Now, when you touch the money point, that electromagnetic charge releases those limiting beliefs relating to money. Same could be for kindness, same could be for joy, same could be for hopes and dreams, same could be for power, and so on and on and on. Right? Now, when you gently touch those points, it clears limiting beliefs, it creates stuck emotions, stuck thought forms. And even, most of the times people ask me that if someone has gone through some kind of traumatic experience regarding something, can access bars help them? Yes, it can, because trauma also gets stored in the body. Trauma is not just stored in the mind, and it has not just created an impact on the mental aspect of life. Trauma usually gets stored in body, and that's why we know so many people who are trying to lose weight, but they are not able to because the trauma is stored and stuck in their body. And they take a few sessions of access bars, and they also start seeing that weight starts moving. They start seeing changes in health, in weight. People start looking younger because there are points relating to aging, and so on and on. It's a lot of fun. So coming back to how do access bars help in manifestation or creating the life you want, is that when you touch those points gently, uh, the limitations can be removed from the subconscious mind. Now, when you don't even know that you have subconscious beliefs and you are still releasing them. So you you now have more, you can replace them by empowering beliefs. So I know people who were in cycles of, even sleep issues. People with sleep issues say that they don't know why they were not able to sleep. They don't know why they were not able to rest. I know someone who used to sleep for only 2 and 3 hours, but after taking 7 to 8 sessions of access bars, her sleep quality improved. Eventually, she went off her sleeping pills and started feeling better, started sleeping better. Why? Because somewhere why she was not able to sleep, there were some subconscious patterns which were keeping her stuck in those cycles on the autopilot, that she felt that she will not be able to sleep ever without taking a sleeping pill. Now with bars, eventually, like, we don't tell people to stop sleeping pills once they come to see us, but their doctors taper their medicine once they start seeing their health getting improved. So how amazing is that? So thus, this can change anything for you. And I have seen people's life turning 360 degrees. And I always share my personal journey with access bars. Before access bars, I was this timid, fearful girl who used to always feel something can go wrong with her, afraid to, speak herself out to people, openly speak herself out to people. I believed that I loved myself, but there was so much self criticism, and I used to go so much in the wrongness of who I am. And I would internalize what everyone would say about me. If people would criticize me, I would believe it to be true. But after access bars, I started understanding that I'm free to live my life. I don't have to believe in others' opinion. When people criticize me, it hardly bothers me. I live in that way that I say, okay, well, that's their story about me, and that's not who I am. I do not let others' limitations define me. I also do not let others define who I am. And if they are judging and criticizing, it's their job. That's something which is not mine, and I shouldn't be focusing on who is upset with me, who is judging me. Now this makes you live life from a very free perspective. You start just creating, you focus on the things which give you joy. You start being with people who um, give you more joy, who are more contribution to your life, and you start meeting those people too, because that's exactly how energy works. So with access bars, you are able to release those stuck points of view, those limiting beliefs, those things which act as a hurdle in manifestation. And by using the tools, you are able to manifest faster. You are able to clear a lot of limiting beliefs, and manifestation becomes easy. So the next question which people have asked me, that what are the benefits of access bars, especially for manifestation? So access bars can facilitate deep relaxation, reduce stress, increase mental clarity. Your brain waves slow down when you get your bars run. Now, if you know the science of subconscious mind and the science of manifestation, when the brain waves slow down, it creates a condition conducive for manifestation, because when you are in the theta state of brain waves, that is the time our mind can be programmed and reprogrammed. So if you are feeling that you cannot change something, with bars you will be making your brain more malleable for manifestation. See, I always give this example when we are working with gold. Okay, gold has to go through a certain degree of heat and something in order to change, right? In order to change form. And for that, you have to change the frequency and heat of the gold. Similarly, if we have to train our mind, if we have to train our brain, it has to go through some change. And that is exactly what happens when the brain waves slow down, when they go to theta, alpha and theta. That's the time where things can be changed. And if you are getting your bars run, it helps your brain to get reprogrammed very easily. So by when we are reprogramming our brain, we are clearing energetic blockages. It is believed to create a more conducive environment for manifesting positive outcomes in life. Now, the next thing people ask me that do you have any videos which talk about how the brain reacts? Yes, there is a video. I will be sharing a link below in this on my YouTube channel and on all about how there is a beautiful video on YouTube which talks about how how brains changes after access bars. I will share that. The next question which people ask me is how often should I receive access bars? So apart from me teaching access bars as a facilitator, I'm a facilitator for the last 7 years, last 8 years, I think. Yeah, it's already 2025, so it will be 8 years. So of course, I teach access bars in a full day access bars class where people learn the tools, people learn how to run bars. But there is also something which I give is the access bars session or the access bars. People also call it access bars treatment. I always call it an access bar session, but in that is where you just come, you lie down and I touch your head, and that is how you receive bars. And with that, that is a session which I'm talking about when I say I like to get your bars run. So how often should I take access bars, or how many sessions do I need? Now, first and foremost, understand that the frequency of access bars, taking bars, totally depends on you and your individual needs. Some people need more frequent sessions. For example, if people who are going through insomnia, people who are going through any kind of mental illnesses, depression, anxiety, a lot of panic attacks. I know someone who would have panic attacks, literally would shiver, and she used to receive sessions even twice a week. And it really helped her, especially when it comes to young adults or even young students, people in their teens or people early 20s. A lot of people who are going through that change, I think a lot of them benefited when they took 2 sessions um, a week. But I would typically say that to start seeing results, I feel that take at least 5 to 6 sessions Um, Technically, I feel 10 sessions is what I always recommend. The best way to explain is it's like going to a gym, right? When you go to a gym, you're not just going to do and lift weights for one day and say that, okay, I want to see the results. मसल आया कि नहीं? अरे एक दिन जिम गई, एक्सरसाइज किया, कुछ यूज नहीं हुआ. You at least need to go gymming for 6 months to start seeing that effect on your body, your mind, your, everything, right? Bars works very similarly with mind. And I think you should at least take 6 to 7 sessions minimum to start with. How frequently they should be taking. In the start, I tell people to take once a week or even twice a week. And as they start seeing the results, we slowly take it to once every 10 days and then slowly move to once every 2 weeks. Totally depend on clients to clients. Um, I also feel that if you are doing it for manifestation, I know there are people who come to me every month, once a month session for manifestation, and they see that they keep creating every time. Now, this special case is of one of my client. She came to me first time where she was feeling stuck in her career at work. Nothing was going well. She was also going through a very difficult patch in her relationship. And she came to me for the first time. And after receiving that session, and I asked her, what is it that you would like to create with this session? And she said, I would really like to change everything because things are going not so good in all areas of my life. And she received that bar session. And in another 7 days, she wrote to me saying that, Ashwini, the promotion is coming to me. Officially, it's not yet declared, but my boss just told me I'm getting promoted. She was not getting promoted for almost 3 to 4 years and she was stuck in the same role. And then she said, I want to come and see you again. And again, after another month, she came to see me. And that time I again asked her, what would you like to change? And she said, wow, I really think in my career I had a breakthrough. What if I can improve the relationship I have with with her? That time the person was her boyfriend. And I said, okay, let's ask for this. And we ran her bars and she, I think in a matter of 1.5 months, um, she told me that, you know what, things have gotten so much better. Our parents are talking to each other and we are getting married. And I think this was amidst lockdown that she got married. Post the lockdown, 2 years down, she came to see me and she again said, I said, okay, what is possible now? What would you like to create? And she said, we are looking for starting a family. And she took an access bar session. And in some month, she told me that she was expecting a baby. She delivered the baby. So I know people who have created, actually they have manifested things they really wanted. So sky is the limit, ask for it. What really happened when we did these sessions? She had a lot of limiting beliefs that why she did not deserve to receive that. She just let all these beliefs go and she surrendered and trusted the process. She got her bars run. She just listen. When you're getting your bars run, I usually do clearings, and when you do the clearings, you just release. You just give permission to the universe to release it for you, and it just worked. So there are so many amazing people who are receiving the magic of access consciousness. So how can finally coming to how can access bars help you manifest and get unstuck? So first and foremost, you clear mental clutter and energetic clutter when you get these bars runs, whether it is points like money, creativity, control. Running bars or getting the process done on your head is you release stuck energy which could be clouding your ability to focus on your desires or even take inspired action. Why do people not take inspired action? Because they are still living in the stuck thoughts. But once the stuck thoughts and stuck beliefs are gone, you take inspired action. Now, this opens up space for new possibilities. Like I always say, only when you remove the old clothes in the cupboard and throw it away, you create space for more to come in. Just like that, when you let go of limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs, limiting judgments, doubts, fears, all of that overwhelm. Sometimes we are so overwhelmed that we are not able to know what we really want because the overwhelm actually takes us over, it cripples us. You just create more room for fresh perspectives and more aligned opportunities to show up. And this mental and energetic decluttering is, access bars is a mental and energetic decluttering. This can be a powerful step that now you created space, you can have something bigger and better. Also, access bars, getting your bars run can help you increase awareness and your intuition. Because when you start trusting your awareness, you will start operating from your awareness rather than from autopilot or from past programming and limitations. Because every time you are going to ask for an opportunity, you are not going to let that voice in your head interfere and tell you that no, it's not possible. Because that voice will die. Basically, that monkey mind, that stupid voice in your head, eventually it just dies down. So you start operating from your awareness, you start tapping into your intuition, and you start understanding that what is your truth, and you start acting accordingly. So people who get their bars run and who use the access tools also start becoming lucky. All of a sudden people start telling me that, oh, you're lucky, it's so easy for you because it's easy for you, हमारे लिए उतना easy नहीं है. But people don't know that when you start using these tools, everyone starts attracting opportunities, you start getting. But are you willing to really explore that? um in an access bars class, we also teach you to use tools and how to frame questions, verbal processes and questions. Like, there is a very powerful tool which we use, which is what else is possible. When you feel stuck and if you use the tool, what else is possible, you get anything and everything, right from a business class upgrade to a free, maybe a free check-in or early check-in, free early check-in, or parking space in the most crowded space. And I think we have attracted everything right from uh, these material things to getting things just, like I even remember I went to a shop and there was something which I really liked. It was not available in my size and I really liked, and I was traveling somewhere. So I really wanted to buy that. I was going back to India the next day and I was like, I really want this dress because I really liked it. It looked good on me, but I just need a different size. And the store people said that, no, this, sorry, ma'am, this piece is not available. And I kept asking what else is possible. And I said, can you please recheck? And it so happened that at the trial, near the trial rooms where the stock was, the stock came back and my size of dress was actually available. So everything is possible. Even when you think things are not possible, if you just keep asking the right questions, things just show up. So there are tools like what else is possible. There's another powerful tool. Who does this belong to? I've spoken so much about the tool. You can go and check on my YouTube channel. I've spoken about who does this belong to tool. That tool is very powerful, especially for people who are going through depression, anxiety, because 99.999 percentage of thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs are not even ours. We are we are acting like radio transmitters. Gary Douglas says you are psychic SpongeBobs, or radio transmitters who are attracting and picking up all the thoughts. Imagine you are a Wi-Fi router and you are picking up all the Wi-Fi's from everywhere, or you are a phone who is getting connected to any Wi-Fi. You have to just get connected to your Wi-Fi, because what if other Wi-Fi's have viruses, right? That's what happens to us. We don't just get connected to our own Wi-Fi, we get connected to other Wi-Fi's too, and that is where we pick thoughts. So when you start using the tools, who does this belong to? And I return it back to the sender with consciousness attached, it just changes everything. People have seen that just by use of this tool, they have changed their mental health. So these help you detach from fear. They help you release any kind of resistance, or even overthinking. What is overthinking? Why is overthinking happening? Overthinking is happening because you are unnecessarily picking up other people's thoughts. I used to sometimes just wake up in the morning and have those stressful thoughts, and then I think that I'm not this person who is going to continuously go in that loop. And then I would just use the who does this belong to tool and it goes. I've also seen people getting relief from physical, aches, pains with who does this belong to tool. It's tricky how it works, but it always works. And I always tell people that rather than looking at, please explain me how it works, just experiment for yourself, use, see, and if it works for you, how does it get even better than this? Finally, the tools of access consciousness empower you. And that's exactly what I'm just looking at the motto of access consciousness. I'm looking towards my left because that is where my certificates are in my office. The access consciousness says empowering people to know that they know. That is what access consciousness does. So access consciousness tools empower you to take your own power back. You can use the tools anytime when you're traveling, when you are walking, when you are at the airport queues. I have seen queues getting cleared, traffic getting cleared. All of a sudden, me being moved to a queue which has no people and counters opening up for me, and so much. So, most importantly, the access consciousness bars in a bars class, the tools we teach you, they just help you. They, whether you are stuck in business, whether you're stuck in relationships, whether you are stuck in any health, after you finish the class, you are a different person. You are with practical tools which will shift your state anytime, lighten up your energy, and help you choose differently. So I always ask people that my only question to you is, these tools are available. Are you ready to make that choice of using those tools? And if you are ready to use the tools, and if you would like to know more about this, you can book a discovery call with me. Or if you are ready to, if you're someone who knows this and who would like to choose a class, access consciousness class, you can come for an access. I typically conduct every alternate month in Mumbai. And of course, there are more classes which are happening in this year to other cities too. And in other countries too, they are happening. So I am looking forward to connect to more and more people, spread the magic of access. I was, me and my sister, so my sister Anaga, she's also become an access consciousness bars facilitator. And we both were talking that day about what we would like to do. And she just said that, how about just spreading happiness? How about spreading consciousness? So like, yes, let's, when we say right now there is viral, वेदर चेंज हो गया है, वायरल, सब जगह वायरल है. हाउ अबाउट मेकिंग कॉन्शियसनेस, हैप्पीनेस एंड मैजिक वायरल? हाउ अबाउट इन्फेक्टिंग एवरीवन with happiness, consciousness, with magic? How about making people believe in possibilities more than making them feel stuck in life? I see so many people are struggling and so many people are feeling stuck in life. I ask you to make a choice, to know that there is a better reality available. You just have to choose it. And unless you choose it, you can't really receive it. So choose it, guys. And let us make this world full of magic and possibilities. Do you know, when you were a child, you believed in all of that magic of the universe? And you always believed that something bigger was possible. And then maybe you were disappointed because those things did not show up. But the only reason those things did not show up then was because you did not have the tools. But now that the tools are available, would you just like to learn them and create a big change, a big shift in your life the way everything is? If your answer is yes, do get in touch. Thank you for watching this Play with Possibilities. I totally enjoy, doing this live. This is one of my favorite lives. I always feel it opens up my heart to more. It opens me up to more. And for all of you who are interested in an Access Bars class, I'm doing one on 19th and 20th of April in Mumbai. Yes, 19th, 20th April in Mumbai. So it's a 9 hour class. It could be either a one entire day or it could be 2 half days. I typically do it for 2 half days, from afternoon 1:30 to evening 5 o'clock, to evening 5:30. And it's going to be a fun class. I'm more than looking forward to have all those people who would like to choose, create that. So sending love to each and every one of you, lots of magic. And what if this video is a contribution to your life? What if this video is something which creates something bigger for you? Do write in the comments, what do you think? If you have any more questions, write it below. In my next Play with Possibilities, I will make sure that I can answer as many questions as possible. And well, for any questions on access consciousness, bars, anything, you can write to me on ashwini.chube@unicorninsight.com. That's my email ID. I would love to answer your questions. Ease, joy, and glory to all of you. Thank you. Bye bye. Toodles.